Before any of you ask, yes, I got a haircut, because I know a bunch of you in the comments are going to say, Chibi, did you get a new haircut? Did you get a new haircut? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's talk about this episode of Hibike. Episode 3 to be exact. Now, with this episode of Hibike, the drama is starting to come into play, which I expected to happen when it comes to KyoAni. KyoAni, when it comes to their slice of life series, usually there is some form of drama, and I was expecting the drama to kind of kick in very soon, and that is exactly what is happening with this week's episode of Hibike. So what is the main conflict? What is going down, and what is the issue at hand? So, there clearly is some issues going on between the second years and the third years of the school. For instance, the new second years that joined the club were having issues with the third years for some reason. It wasn't really clarified what the certain issues were, but the second years were very enthusiastic. They were very enthusiastic, and they had some form of issues with the third years, so the third years had some form of issues with them, and it caused it to where they didn't get along, second years quit, and majority of the second years that are left are like lazy ones that just don't want to do nothing. So, yeah, there's a huge issue. They have a lack of club members, and they have a lack of enthusiasm like they did with the last episode, and we need to find out what really caused this issue, like what really caused this issue between the different years. We also come to find out some information that in the last year before this new year, the third years and second years also had some form of issue, so whatever is causing this issue is not good. Now, see, if they said the third years were causing the issues last year also, it couldn't be the same people, because the third years that are now in this year, you know, third year, were second years the year beforehand, so what happened? Like, did the second years do it last year, or was it different? Was it the third years preying upon the second years? I mean, there's a lot of wondering and guessing I'm trying to figure out right now when it comes to those issues, but let's just move past that because we need to find out more information. Now, one thing I think that's the true winner of this episode is the camera angles. The camera angles of this anime is brilliant. Like, I've gotten into it just a little bit in the past couple of reviews I've done, but the camera angles of Hibike, I think is what's making this series just so damn good. Like, when you see the ending sequence, when you see one of the main female characters, you know, the black-haired female character, forget her exact name, I'll remember that probably next week, but when you see her playing by herself and all that, you see how the camera angles are done, the way they show behind her, they show to the side of her. I mean, I just like those different perspectives with the camera angles in this episode, and KyoAni really loves working with that camera. Like, that's something they've always done, and I like how they always had the, like, blurring effect on the characters. Like how you had the main female character, Kumiko, when she was, like, her side of her face was being shown, you saw how some of her hair was blurred out, some of her face was, you know, nice and good, like, where you can make it out clearly, and it was in focus, and then another side was kind of out of focus too. I just like that so much of how KyoAni kind of does that type of stuff with their animation. Like, they put in and out of focus of things, and they add it look like it's realistic or something. Like, they add some realism to the way the series looks. Now, besides the camera angles, I personally felt like the backgrounds, once again, of this episode, oh my god, they're just so damn good. I mean, I know it's just damn backgrounds, but my god, I gotta talk about it, because KyoAni, the backgrounds are just so damn beautiful. They're so damn beautiful. Like, did you see those final backgrounds in this episode? Like, they were stunning. Like, they were better than the characters. Like, I'm sorry. I like the characters, but the animation and background art looks way better than the characters. Like, oh my god, like the way the scenery is done, I love that overlook when you saw the girl playing by herself and you just see that entire look of the field and all that. I love that scene. That was an awesome scene, especially with the music. Speaking of the music, I'm liking so far the atmosphere with the music. Now, you can tell that this band in this episode were kind of shitty because they didn't have that enthusiasm like they had in the last episode, and also they're kind of getting fed up with doing this beginner song. They want to do something very high class, but right now they need to get their act together and learn to have some teamwork and work together to become a better group before they can play music. But right now, that's what they need to do. They need to figure out some teamwork. Now, the teacher, the sensei that is watching over them and not really helping them out, I understand what he's trying to do. I mean, he's being hard on them because he's like, I'm not going to waste my fucking time with you if you're not going to work together, have enthusiasm, and settle out your issues, whatever you have with the third years and second years. And that's kind of what he's doing. I mean, that's exactly what he is doing, and he's just not giving it any time. He's like, if you really really want to go to nationals, you better show me some effort. And that's what he's asking. So, yeah, I like the way the teacher's doing. He's being very stern, and at first glance it looks like he's being an asshole, but that's a way of teaching. He's being very stern because, like, if you really want to be taught, and if you can survive this, then you will become great players. That's kind of what I think he's thinking. That's pretty much about it. I mean, there's some great moments in this episode, especially when it comes to KyoAni, adding in these little moe elements, especially with, like, Hornikun, Saxakun, you know, stuff like that. You know, when you saw the little, like, toy or whatever come out, that was cute. That was fucking cute. That was really fucking cute. And then Asuka, best girl, Asuka, best girl. Like, nothing beats her in the series. Asuka, best girl. I just love the way her animation is. I love the Spanish she did, like, adios amigos. That was great. That was fucking great. So, yeah, that's this episode of Hibike. I enjoyed it. It was fun. You have to go watch it, because it was, you know, an enjoyable episode. If you've been watching the past 2 episodes and you've enjoyed them, you're gonna like this episode. Now, like I said, drama begins in this episode, so we'll have to see where it goes. Let me know your thoughts about this series in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.